Good morning, YouTube. This is Mochismo Eugene. This is another video on an exit strategy. This is where I'm showing you how to exit a narcissistic relationship effectively and quickly. And in the meantime, as you're exiting, you're becoming educated and aware of how to leave and to leave for good. Okay. Real quick before I come into the video, I just want to show you guys a few things, and I'll explain to you why I'm showing you these individual items. These are all Milwaukee products, to which I own a ton of this stuff. I don't want to show you everything. It's not necessary. I'm just trying to establish a point of reference when I begin this video. This radio goes for about $200. That's without the battery. There's a battery in it. It's a 6.0 amp battery, which maybe goes for about $100, the battery. So that's $300. This battery here is a 12 amp battery, 12 amp hours. It goes for $250, just the battery. This hammer drill goes for probably about, you'll get it sometimes in a package and it'll be about $250. Sometimes you'll get it on sale for $199. It'll come with a drill driver, impact driver, but this is a hammer drill. So it has a hammer action. So it does more than just drill screws and drill holes. It has a hammer action for, like, if you need to go through concrete. So anyone's familiar with that, that's what that does. This is what you call a multi-tool. This is one of the indispensable tools in your toolbox. It gives you the ability to notch out a hole. In the olden days, we used a jigsaw. So you would have to do a plunge cut with a jigsaw, and you wasn't able to go into the tight corners. But with this thing, you can go in this way, that way. And it allows you to do a lot of stuff without damaging the outer perimeter of your surface. It keeps it concentrated, and it's very safe to use when you're doing outlets, wall sockets, and different things. So the battery in here is a 5 amp. That goes for probably $100. This tool goes for, I think, $229, $240. So as you can see, this is probably, I don't know, 250, 350, 550, 650, 7, about $900. This is probably around $1,000 worth of tools right here. And I own an extensive amount of these tools in different other kind of brands. So to that point, I'm showing you these individual items. As I said, this is an exit strategy YouTube video, as most of them are. I'm going to explain a little something about once I discovered the narcissist in my situation. I discovered that she was a narcissist through just Googling. If I didn't tell you before, and for you all that don't know, just a lot of crazy making stuff was going on, to which I got frustrated. I proceeded to leave the house. Before leaving my driveway, I have had a notion to Google what makes a person not show true remorse. And upon doing that, I strolled down a few lines and I saw narcissistic personality disorder. And that's how I arrived at this conclusion of narcissist personality disorder specifically. So getting into the video, this is what I did specifically, verbatim, when I began to realize that that's what I was dealing with. I went on and told her brother, to which I really was fortunate because I got videos. I began to see videos. I believe it was Dave Narcology Unscripted. I saw a few with Mrs. Carmen Bryant and the Little Shaman. I don't see a lot of her videos pop up, even though I'm subscribed to her. She rarely shows her face, which is a lot of us on here, and that's not a problem for me. I can take it either way. But she talks rapidly, in rapid succession, with the knowledge. And she, for some reason, well, not for some reason, everything she says is so, you connect. And I was fortunate, blessed by the grace of God, that I was able to absorb everything that was being said to me right away, from the beginning. No contact. Don't utter to them that you know that they're a narcissist, because they'll rage and that'll create a bigger problem. So I had a restraint in that because, you want to be very vocal. You want to out them. You want to go and say, look, I know what you are. Get the hell out of my face. Get out of my life. That would have been too easy. So I went another approach. I did what you would call a tacticianer approach. And I've said this before, the movie Law Abiding Citizen. If you haven't seen it, see it with Jamie Foxx in it, and you understand what a tacticianer is. He anticipates what you're going to do as a result or reaction of the tacticianer's move. Almost like chess, I guess, and I don't know how to play chess, but it's just strategic moves you make in anticipation of how that person is going to respond. So in my mind, I knew if I told her brother, he would go and tell her, and it worked, and she was out. She was out in record time. I think from the time I realized she was a narcissist, I suffered through maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks more, knowing that there were individuals coming in and out of my house on surveillance camera, to which I don't know emphatically who they are, but I saw figures going in. And this was after she was gone. Again, this stuff here, which is the premise of the video, I began as well to begin to remove, extract, take most of my primary tools out of the house, because I didn't have a garage at the time. So most of the tools that I have there were either in the basement or they were in and around the house in the rooms. I don't believe she knows what this stuff costs, but what I'm trying to show you is this is what she knows that is vital to my livelihood and my my livelihood and is pertinent to me making a living. So this is what they emphasize on, the very thing that they know that you are connected to, be it a car, be it a TV, whatever, most of which is superficial stuff. So I don't want people to get this misunderstood. And again, if it's something that's sentimental to you, same thing applies. So listen well. I began to take this stuff quietly, and I began to take it systematically, a few things at a time. I didn't get everything and just take it at once. I began to just take little things and load the car up. And again, the surveillance camera, which is at the back, it surrounds my house. I have surveillance all around the house. But I would make specifically sure that I would park the car closer to the house to where when I opened the trunk, the cameras didn't see me taking the stuff and putting it in my car, because I'm going to show you why I did that. This sounds narcissistic here, because this is what they do. They're sneaky. But as a tacticianer, I knew she stayed on her phone, and my phone had the ability, and it has the ability, which a lot of cameras that you have around your house, such as the Ring doorbell, which I don't have. I have Night Owl. It is connected to your phone, and so you can get alerts, or you can even watch your phone. You can just babysit your phone from work, anywhere you are, mobile. You can literally watch your house. So for that reason, I didn't want her, because I knew she would be vigilantly watching my going and comings. And unbeknownst to me, she was pretty much stalking me and had me under surveillance since the day she walked over into my house. And I took her in. Because her phone, I connected it. And this is what you do. In a relationship, you allow the whole family to be connected to the same thing. Just like the cable network, the Wi-Fi. The whole family shares this stuff. There's no secrets. There's no passwords necessary. And so she was afforded the ability to have this. So me knowing that, I didn't just shut the surveillance down, because I didn't want to raise any feathers. I didn't want to raise any kind of alarms, because I'm going to show you when you're exiting and you're taking different things away from the house, such as I did, you have to be mindful that these people, once you become no contact and you begin to be silent, they panic. She was quiet, but they very well panic inside. And that panic caused them to become super vigilant, hyper vigilant. Just as you are. When you're awakened, you become hyper vigilant. So imagine two hyper vigilant people. It's kind of two people in a room. I kind of associated with from, and I haven't used, I guess, heroin or crack, as it's been described, two crack addicts in a room doing drugs together. And every time they do a hit, they're looking around, which a lot of times I've been told drug addicts, when they're in a room doing drugs, they all make an agreement to get totally nude. This is because nobody trusts anybody, because they know that they're subject to take the drugs and hoard them for themselves. So that analogy applies, I think, the same way with when you become awake as an empath, or just an awakened person from narcissistic abuse. And you have the narcissist, when you become no contact, they become vigilant. They are hyper vigilant, because they're always observing. They don't have a personality of their own. So when your personality goes from talkative to pretty much silence, they don't know what to do with themselves. So when I begin to take this stuff, and if you begin to take stuff from the house, you have to really be subtle about it. And you just have to do it in a way. And if they should inquire, where is that thing that, where are your tools? Which I don't believe they will, because they have so much going on at the time, they could care less. They're trying to strategize what move they need to make. So they could care less. They're not even concerned, because they got so many wheels turning in their head. You got to understand, they have a laundry list of things to do on a daily basis before you become awake. They don't even have you on their mind. Even when they're in the house with you, they could care less about the connectiveness, the cohesiveness, the camaraderie, the things that a woman would love to come home just to see the presence of her man, or a man that would love to walk in the house and smell dinner cooking, or smell the laundry being done through the dryer. You know, just a homey feeling. People love to come home to their home. It's a sanctuary. But when they come in the house, and you probably will remember this at times and points in this relationship when it became settled and all the dust settled. And you'll probably remember many times where you would come to your house, pull in the driveway, and you'd have this eerie uneasiness even getting out of the car, because it's almost like you're coming to a foreign place. And that was a feeling that I couldn't readily describe, or was not readily aware of. I just knew it was just an unsettled feeling of, I don't know if I even, subconsciously, should I be here? And so this is where I'm going. You take this stuff. If you are a guy like me, say if you are into beauty salon, or a barber, and you have tons of clippers and razors and whatnot, or nail salon, and you, especially if you have a business from home, and you have supplies and stuff, what they will begin to do, they'll begin to hide things that belong to you. And I can remember another instance in the spare room we had, and I mentioned this before, I think, and this is going to resonate with somebody for sure. It was a spare room to which she brought, after she left, I realized it was a spare room with 90% of just junk that belonged to her. Stuff that she hoarded, boxes of stuff that people may have given to her. Some of it may have even been new. They just takers. They'll take whatever you offer to them. They love to re-gift stuff. If somebody gives them something, they stockpile it.
wrap it for the winter, and give it to somebody else and have them under the impression that it's something brand new that they purchased in and of themselves. Is something wrong with this? Not in and of itself. There's nothing wrong with that if you want to re-gift something. But they're so anal about these type of things. They are anal. They don't want to buy anything, but they're always looking for something. So the spare room, it would be times there would be a doorknob that was loose, or there would be a repair of some sort around the house, just general maintenance. A door would probably be sloppy and it would need adjusting and tightening. And I would use construction screws, and specifically, I love to use the construction screws that have what you call a star bit. It's in the form of almost like a star, but it may have a few more points to it, and I just call it a star bit. And so these are specialty bits. You can't use a regular Phillips screwdriver or straight head screwdriver or flat because it just won't work. And I'd use these for two reasons. They don't strip easily. And for two, it's rarely that people will be able to use them. And I use them as a security because if someone was trying to extract screws from whatever I was trying to attach from the outside, the chances of them having a star bit on them in their possession would be slim to none because most people are accustomed to Phillips. So point being, I went in this spare room after a lot of this is after she was gone. I was discovering things. And I would ask her when I'm repairing things around the house, have you seen this little bit? Because what she would do, to be specific with you, if I'm doing a repair, she would get me to distract me away from what I was doing. Can you come and do this? They're always getting you to do something. If they see that you're concentrated in a task, mind you me, they will come and they will take you away from what you're doing because they need you to be off balance all the time. They need you to be doing a million things to where you can't process everything simultaneously, or they're in hopes that you'll have so much of a laundry list or a to-do list, and then they'll chime in and say, I'm going to Walmart and do a Walmart pickup. Do you need anything? Because they know where you are. Now watch what I'm about to tell you. I just pointed out that I would be doing a repair. She would get me away from that to go and look at something for a few minutes. Can you go and look at the laundry machine? It's not working right. And what they will have done is not even attempted to, or they would have done something to it to where you would go down and you would say, oh, all you have to do is just turn this on. Oh, I didn't know that. And while you're repairing or looking into that problem that they said they had, they, or she in this case, would take the star bit either out of my drill or take it off of the floor from where I had it, and I would go back to resume that project, and I would be just looking around for this bit or extension to no avail. But I wouldn't think to ask her within the first 5-10 minutes, because in my mind, who thinks that this person, after they've gotten you distracted away from what you're doing, would have the wherewithal to take the thing that you're using and hide it, misplace it? And so as time went on, 5, maybe even 10 minutes, I would resort to inquiring, do you have any idea where that star bit is? Have you seen it? And to which they would reply, no, where's the last place you had it? So are you getting the gist of what I'm saying? They are trying to make you seem like you're losing your mind, you're forgetting what you've done with it, and not for nothing. I would find myself not only looking for it in that area for 5-10 minutes, I would go down to the basement where the dryer and the washer at, thinking, backtracking where I went last. So I'm doing this all-out search for something that I'm not even aware that I never moved in the first place, because I'm second guessing myself. And so This spare room in which I just pointed out in the beginning of this situation, after she left, on the shelf in there, there was a whole row of things neatly placed side by side, many of which were things that I was looking for and hadn't seen, and I had a deja vu moment, or I had a review mirror or an epiphany. It was like this. It just I automatically connected. It's like this, and as I'm thinking like that, it was like a bombard. It was like a bombarding of thoughts. Like this is the stuff, because I already knew at this time that she was a narcissist. This is when she had finally bounced. The clarity was like it was connecting. Like this is the stuff I was looking for. She hid this on purpose because, unfortunately, I had already gotten videos that already explained such things as they will get you fired. So when I realized why I had gotten terminated, because why I got terminated from what my HR manager told me, it didn't make sense at the time. So after she was gone and all of these videos I've gotten, that's why it's pertinent. It's very vital that you get these videos. Bounce around. Don't get just accustomed to one YouTuber talking about narcissistic personality disorder. Some of them are out here clout chasing. Some of them are out here, they are narcissists. Some of them are out here because of various reasons. But the more you educate yourself with the practical approach and the practical definition of what or the general idea of what narcissistic personality or disorder is, you will be able to readily identify with not only the who or the what subject content that people are talking about. You'll be able to understand within yourself that person without even judging. You'll be able to see if this person is truly trying to equip and educate and encourage and bring awareness to what this is that you're dealing with in your world, or are they out for different reasons apart from that? And to each his own. You know, numbers, don't care about them. Having tact, I would like to be able to do this in a more professional way, but for the meantime, this is how I'm doing it. All of those things, you know, God bless people who have grown their channel, and I encourage them, and I support that. But each one of us got to do this their own way. You have to come from a heart place. You have to come from a place of the heart. You have to come from a place that you really want people to know what you've gone through, and in doing so, you can help somebody. And so when I saw all of this stuff happening and I saw this stuff taking place, I look back and I say, you know what? The things which are behind me right now, physically, these tools, I'm just thankful that I did it the way that I did it. And I'm just encouraging anyone that is listening to this video, likewise, just start extracting some of your things that you believe that are real fundamental to your livelihood. And when she left, you know, there were flat screen TVs, newer things in which I mentioned in other videos. They take the better things and the newer things that you've acquired. And it wasn't like a what's yours is mine. It was, but it wasn't, because a lot of the things that she took, they were here before she even came, and she left all the garbage that she brought, which was so outdated, it wasn't even funny. But do I really care? $20,000 in pandemic relief that she acquired because the taxes that she had done, she did it as head of the household. She left pre-pandemic, right in the peak of it before they shut the country down. I mentioned this before. So if I went on and on and on, which I'll probably highlight that some more about how, well, maybe not. If I sat here long enough and told you all the things in which she cost me and she took from my children as well as me as a whole, at the end of the day, it wouldn't matter, because I know there's some people on here that lost houses because of these people. They're knee deep in debt. They're in bankruptcy. But for what you gain in this situation, count it as a blessing. Even the things you lost, man, in exchange for the knowledge that you have on this. that being said, bless.